Today I'm going to teach you how to make a men's scarf like this one. It only uses one pattern, a single stitch crochet. While the scarf can be unisex, I'm calling it a men's crochet because the color and the pattern chosen by the client is giving a masculine energy. It can be unisex. What you're going to need for this project is a scissors, some stitch markers, a tape measure, and your yarning needle. The yarn I'm using is a chunky yarn. It recommends a 5mm hook, but I will work with the 4.5mm hook. Okay, so to start us off, we'll start with a foundation chain of whatever length you want your scarf to be. My client's scarf is 50 inches, and for the sake of this tutorial I'm just going to make a dummy. So I'm going to make a dummy demonstration for over 10 foundation chains. So in your actual, now we have a foundation chain of 10. In your actual scarf, you are going to pick your tape measure and take the measurements, ensuring that it is as long as you want it to be. My client, like I've said, my client's scarf is 50 inches. You can work whatever length that you want. So work out the foundation chain to whatever length you want, okay? Then once you have that length, let's say 50 inches or 45, 48, you chain one, then you turn your work. Ideally, you should chain you should start your project from the second chain, which is this, you know. So you pull a loop, sorry, and then you yarn over. But instead of working on this end, I would like to turn my project a little bit on the side and work on these ridges, you know. Like so. So we are going to do that again. You're going to take your hook and pull a loop. Now you have two loops, then you yarn over, and there you have your second single crochet. So because your foundation chain 10 foundation chains, you're going to ensure that your single crochet are also 10. For beginners, I'd encourage you to use stitch markers, see this way on the very first loop, so that you don't lose count, so that you're not increasing or decreasing stitches while you do not know. The scarf is such a long project. It's such a long project that if you start missing stitches, it's not going to give you a neat finishing. So you're going to do that again. So this is your row 1. The reason I love using the ridges is because the same beautiful finish you get once you start your row 1 is the same one that you get under here when you use the ridges, as opposed to just going on the side. So you chain 1, and then you turn your project. Once you turn your project, you repeat the process. So now, if you look closely, you'll realize that the project has 2 loops, okay, the front and the back. So to get this finishing, the ridges or the ribbed texture, you will crochet just the back loop. So you will take your hook on the back loop, pull a loop, and then yarn over. Continue with the single crochet, and don't forget to always put a stitch marker on your first stitch so that you don't lose your count. And as you can see, we will always have 10 in my case it is 10 chains, 2 and 4, 2 and 4. Okay, yours will be whatever number of chains. And you do not using a stitch marker for the long project helps you not to necessarily keep count. You can just crochet in peace, knowing that the stitch markers are your guideline on where the project starts and ends. Once you reach the end, you can remove the stitch marker and continue with the single crochet as per usual. As you can see, the ribbed has started to form. Okay, so you chain 1 and turn, and you continue, and you continue, and that is how you make your a very simple men's scarf with the color of your preference. I went with the jungle green. And that is all. You'll continue sewing back and forth using the back loop only, and you'll have the ribbed effect. As you can see, my client's scarf. Okay, kindly consider subscribing, share, comment, like. It really helps the channel. Thank you.